I'm coming in this late. If I look tired, it is not a look. I am tired. I'm actually drinking my almond milk and my turmeric right now. So I'm going to be asleep in a few. But I want to share this video with you all. It came on my feed, and I've been talking about credit repair, credit score since 2018. 2018. Telling people that banks will start closing accounts, informing people that the social credit scoring system will be on the way. And so, hey, yes, let me just share the video with you so you can see for yourself. Chase Bank is closing bank accounts and banning people for life. All right, Chase Bank's closing bank accounts and banning people for life. Let's cut the volume up.
Business bank accounts and credit card accounts left and right.
They're like, no, you got your money. And I'm like, I don't have my money. Chase Bank has my money.
Another person had been with them for over 6 years and had their accounts closed. And one person was actually banned for life. I was able to break it down to 3 red flags. If you're ready to see this right now, type in the comments, I'm ready. Red flag number 1, negative social media. I know it sounds stupid. Let me show you. One Chase customer had their account closed after a week. They went into a local branch to open up a checkings and a savings account. They set up direct deposit, and then they go to open up the app, and it says they have no accounts. They contact customer service, and all they said is that Chase has decided to end this relationship and close the account. Like, why even bother creating the account in the first place? Bunch of, you know what? And now I have to wait to get my paycheck from these idiots. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Now, once I read that, I said, it's got to be more to the story. Check this out. Now, mind you, this was 4 days ago. So people started putting in their comments left and right. But one person said, so Chase has an AI that creates personality profiles on all customers. You can Google Chase close my bank account and then back to the AI profile in addition to LexisNexis information. It combs through all of your social media accounts to create the profile. And if they find anything they see negative, they will close your account and ban you for life. And I see people use their accounts like this all the time. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but some people are saying that it is. But let's go to the next story. Also, real quick, if you want to stay on top of your personal credit and your business credit, your credit report, then you most definitely. Flag number 2, using your personal account like a business account. I know it sounds kind of crazy because you got Zelle, you got Cash App, and I don't know if you guys remember Chase Quick Pay. They're the ones that came out with it. So check this out. And this just happened 8 days ago. Chase closed my newly opened secure bank account checking account. Don't worry, we're not going to read all this. I'm going to give you guys a summary. So on December 11th, I went to a Chase branch to open up an account after trying online. I'm 18 and this is my first time opening up an account. I come in with my ID and I'm able to open up the account. The banker I work with told me from then that I could use Zelle while waiting for my card to come in the mail. Before this, my mom would normally hold on to my money into their account. So later in the day, I asked her to Zelle me whatever I had, which she did. It wasn't much. It was about $90. I used $10 this day on food. 2 days later, I go out with my friends and we're at the store and he pays. I send him $40. The next day, I send my mom $6, and my brother sends me 20 for my Ubers because I was going out Friday. On Thursday, the 14th, I go check my account, and I'm completely locked out of it. When I try to log in, it says my account is locked due to suspicious activity. And just like that, his account was closed. He then goes on to say, so now I'm just kind of frustrated and stressed because I didn't know that using Zelle would lead to my account being closed for suspected fraud. I don't know if I'll receive any money in the mail. I also don't know if I should reopen an account with Chase. And then he gonna ask for any advice on what he should do. At this point, if I was him, I most definitely would leave Chase Bank alone. Now, we got to admit, it shouldn't be this confusing just to use Zelle for your own money. If you agree with me, go ahead and put in the comments, stop the confusion. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is Chase doing this right now? Nah, they've been doing this for a minute. Let me show you. Look at this. 4 months ago, account closed. So I came here to insert this up to see if this happened to others. And to my surprise, it has. Chase closed all of my accounts, check-ins, savings, and 2 credit cards. This just happened to me yesterday, and I'm completely in disbelief and frustrated right now. I've been with them for 6 years and no issues. I'm a contractor and I receive payments from different people all the time. I spoke with someone and they said they can't find the letter stating the reason for the closure. I would have to wait for the letter to come in the mail. I know what you're thinking. Well, Calvin, that was just that person. That was 4 months ago. They're not doing that anymore. Yeah, okay, let me show you this.
Imagine you go to Chase Bank, you just got a refund from the Department of Education. Why? Because 1, they forgave your loan, and 2, they said, and you know what? You actually paid too much money on the loan prior to the forgiveness. So we're going to give you money. We're going to give you over $5,000. That's a good day. Loan forgiven, $5,000 plus check. It's a government check. You go to Chase Bank. Chase Bank decides your check is fraudulent and decides to also shut down your entire bank account.
They sent me a check in the mail saying that my loan was forgiven. Thank you, God.
This loan came out of the blue from Lois White's loan servicer. Her student loan debt is forgiven. White is one of more than 800,000 Americans who have been paying for more than 2 decades, getting the one-time adjustment this year, many also getting a refund. This check for more than $5,000 arrived from the U.S. Treasury shortly after.
This was a blessing to me.
At least it was until White deposited the check into her Chase bank account.
Apparently, they couldn't verify this check was real.
Chase first flagged the check from the U.S. government as potential fraud, then locked up and eventually closed White's whole account, blocking access to her money.
I'm really devastated because I have been with this bank all my life. I mean, I've never, and I feel like a criminal, like I've done something wrong. You actually received your check. You have your check right here. You cashed your check. We have a routing number and a receipt that it was deposited into Chase Bank. So they're like, no, you got your money. And I'm like, I don't have my money. Chase Bank has my money.
Now, isn't that crazy? Like, people get government checks all the time. They get student loan refund checks all the time. They get tax return checks all the time. And not only is Chase Bank one of the largest banks in the nation, but let's be honest, we know that they have faster ways to verify funds, especially if it's from the government. You guys are government insured. It makes sense that you guys have a faster process, especially as big as you are. The problem is that regular everyday people, this is a regular woman. She's not making this story up. And regular everyday people go through this entire process with Chase Bank and they're doing everything right and they end up with their account closed. We're not done yet. Not only that, this one happened a month ago. Chase is restricted and is going to close my checking account. I recently mobile deposited a check that I received from doing work, drywall at business. I received 2 checks, one for $3,800 and one for $12,500. I mobile deposited the check for $12,000 through another bank. No problems. Check cleared. I got my money. I deposited the $3,800 on Chase. I received a letter in the mail a few days after stating my account is restricted and will close because of suspicious activity. Listen, this is crazy. But at the same time, don't get me wrong. I understand that Chase is trying to go out the scammers. They're trying to go out the fraudsters. But listen, looking at the way these people were typing and telling their stories, and I mean, listen, let's be honest. Most of these people were not trying to do any fraud or trying to scam or anything like that. They were regular, average, everyday people. Now, I'm not knocking or bashing Chase. I'm just saying you guys got to tighten up on how you're doing things because it's hardworking, everyday people that put their money into their bank account and they want to make sure they can use their money because it's their money. Now, let's be honest. I know that banks don't just close accounts without necessarily having a reason to do so, but this is most definitely just horrible. This is how banks make money. It's not making any sense that they're throwing away clients instead of doing everything that they can to actually keep clients. But either way, I've already.
Wow. So he said it doesn't make any sense. This is how banks make money, and it doesn't make any sense that they are throwing away clients instead of doing what they have to do to keep clients. So it is always I've always taught you all that we're going to have a currency system reset, that we're changing our financial system, and I'm going to address this question what would happen if what would I recommend? What do I recommend? Use a major bank and two credit unions. What this is going to prompt or cause people to do is have a bank run, because people are going to feel, if I have thousands, 12,000, 15,000, as you saw some examples in the bank, it may take me days or even weeks to recoup my funds and get my money back. So this, I think, will cause the bank run, as people are going to not trust the banking system, right? They're not going to trust the banking system. You do know that your money is only FDIC insured up to $150,000. And so people start putting, cash in their homes or whatever, under the bed mattresses. But that's not my recommendation. At least you might want to have some cash on hand for emergency, if that happens to you. But with me, this is why I have debit cards connected to my cryptocurrency exchanges that are outside the banks, right? Because you keeping a whole lot of cash stashed away, it's just a depreciating asset anyway. So just think about it. When the banks do this, and for the people that's not, really up to par about crypto, their money is not going to be making money anymore. And now, why is that important? That you have your money. So, fintech banking that's connected with crypto exchanges like crypto.com, where your money can be growing at the same time, and you have a debit card outside of the banking system. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice. What I just said does not enter us into a client contract agreement, right? If I was your financial advisor, I would be making a whole lot of money, and you will be making a small amount of money, because that's what financial advisors do. But this is why it's not smart to just have money under your mattress or hidden in your safe at home, because inflation. Money that's not moving is money that's losing, as Wall Street Trapper says. This restaurant owner had to change the charge for his sandwich to $16 due to inflation. So if your money is not growing, as Robert Kiyosaki says repeatedly, savers are losers, meaning that you are losing. And most people do not have a growth plan for their money. Now, if you want, a couple of hundreds aside for a rainy day, fine, but I definitely wouldn't just have thousands sitting up idle doing nothing. They don't supposed to keep their money. I hope that's not true. They're supposed to give everyone back their money. Is it? Yeah, I do as well. I keep enough in banks for my essential items. But again, this is going to cause a bank run. And what happens when people stop trusting the banks is that they're going to pull their money out, which is going to make a lot of smaller banks and not be able to survive, which will go ahead and usher in this new currency transformation. Because look, I just want you all to do this. Go to Google and just type in layoffs. Just type in layoffs on Google, right? Just type it in, and you're going to see. And I know there's small print on mine. BlackRock layoffs coming as firm matures. Bitcoin ETF approval, that should be coming January the 10th. You all did not see the video that I did earlier today. 2024, truth and exposure. The Ponzi scheme of cash has ended, and crypto will come in, as Cat Williams said. 2024 is the year of truth and exposure. And I also have the reason why the color purple, Oprah Winfrey, Taraji P. Henson, and what the color purple is representation of this 2024 year, as well as this is the Kobe Bryant year, where we leave a legacy and live a legacy, right? What's going to happen connected to the 20. So watch that video if you haven't already. 2 days ago, Yahoo Finance layoffs soared 98% in 2023, with employers 93% in cost cutting mode. layoffs again. So now we have to think about January the 19th, a government shutdown, highly possible, and February the 2nd. So I'm going to end the live stream with this note because, as you can tell, I'm sleepy. As Valencia says, yes, give your money a job. I saw this post that inspired this philosophy today, and the post was on Facebook from Robert Kiyosaki, and it simply said, "It's two reasons why people do not become rich and wealthy." Right? Two reasons why people do not become rich and wealthy, and that's because of fear and because of greed. Let me say that again. It's two reasons why people do not become rich and wealthy, and that's because of fear and that's because of greed. And I thought about biblically Matthew 25, the man that the servant that the master gave 1 ounce of gold to. He gave one servant 5, one 3, and one ounce. I think 1 5, 1 2, 2 or 3, and 1 ounce. And the one that had the least did the least. The one that had the least, he did the least. He operated out of fear. I'm afraid to invest. I'm afraid to grow my money. Right? You always do your due diligence, but your money should always be working harder than you. And if you don't have your money and a tool or work or a mechanism in which it's going to work harder than you will work until you die. You will put yourself in a position where you always have to be working. And so this servant, Matthew 25, operated out of fear. So now we have give me a second, you all. We have trying to think of the scripture of, he said the children of the dark, where it states the children of the children of the dark are wiser than the children of the light. Let me Google it because I'm sleepy. And my mind is not working. I'm not as sharp mentally. But it's a biblical scripture that goes that the children of darkness is wiser than the children of the light. So Luke 16, and he says this is about the crooked manager. The crooked manager. Sometimes people ask me, why do I teach financial lessons from the Bible? And I said, because the Bible is full of principles and lessons about how to be rich or how to be poor. And it was more rich and wealthy people in the Bible and millionaires and billionaires than poor people. So why not use the Bible? So now there's a surprise. This is the Message version. The master praised the crooked manager. And why? Because he knew how to look after himself. Streetwise people are smarter in regard to law-abiding citizens. Now we can say Christians or church people that believe in God. They are on a constant alert, looking for angles, surviving by their wits. I want you to be smart in the same way, but for what is right, using every adversity to stimulate you to creative survival, to concentrate your attention on the bare essentials so you will really live, and not complacently just get by on good behavior. So what this is in context was talking about was that there was an unjust steward who was not managing his master's money correctly. And when the master found out about it, there was a rich man accused of wasting his possession. So this man operated out of greed. The man in Matthew 25 operated out of fear. Both of them can keep people poor and from becoming, living a life not only just rich in the spirit, but rich in the material world. See, the Bible says the highest heaven belongs to the Lord, but the earth he has given unto mankind. We are supposed to be fruitful and multiply and have dominion of this earth. God just didn't command it. He just didn't expect the fig tree to be fruitful. That was he expected that from the fig tree, but that was a command to us, to human beings. So let me read this again, and then we're closing. Yes, a fear of missing out. And then some people just have greed. Right? Jesus told his disciples there was a rich man whose manager was accusing him of wasting his possessions. So he called him back and said, "What is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management." See, a lot of people want to pray for things. They want to pray for money. When their real problem with money is they have a management problem. Oh, you all won't want to go to my church, would you? If I had a church, you wouldn't want to come to my church. Yeah, people have a management problem, and then they pray for things that because of when it comes to finances and money, that no, you got a management problem, and you don't want to learn about finance. You have a low financial IQ. So he said, because you have a management problem, just like Matthew 25, the little that you have would be taken away. He didn't know how to manage either. He didn't want to grow his money. But the good thing about the man in Matthew 25 is at least he didn't go out and spend it. At least he saved it. And he still would cast where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth and outer darkness. To me, that sounds like hell on earth. Everybody's talking about dying and going to hell. What about having hell on earth because you don't manage your money correctly? And you don't grow your money. How many people would have just spent it on a steak or seafood? Or, well, God, I was so tired of working, I just took a vacation. I couldn't afford. I feel like I owed that to myself and my family. Or I just had to have that Louis Vuitton purse that cost $5,000, but I don't have $5,000 to put in it. Woo, Lord. So the manager said to himself, what should I do now? My master is taking away my job. I'm not strong enough to dig. I am ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do so that when I lose my job here, people will welcome me in their houses. Now, at least this man had a plan for when he got laid off. Did he pray anywhere in this? No, he came up with a plan. Now, sometimes you need to pray and just simply ask God, God, give me a plan. Your prayer needs to be just that short. Lord, I hate it on this job, right? Give me a plan. Give me a strategy where I can find peace and comfort and happiness in another job. Give me a plan. Give me a strategy. So this man had a plan, not a prayer. And even though it was a devious plan, but it was a plan nonetheless. And he was action oriented. So he called in each of his master's debtors and he asked the first one, how much do you owe my master? And he said 900 gallons of olive oil. He replied, the manager told him, take your bill, sit down quickly and make it 450. Yeah, he was really smart. Then he asked the second, and how much do you owe? And he said 1,000 bushels of wheat, he replied. And he said, take your bill and make it 800. The master commended the dishonest manager because he acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourself so that when it is gone, you will be welcome into eternal dwellings. He said, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourself. So your wealth goes, and let me tell you what this meant. I was talking to my uncle, and I have that right there in my book in the back, that friends are better than finances. I was talking to my uncle, and he earns 6 figures a year. And he told me, he said, if I lost my job today, I have about 6 friends that I can call on that can give me another job that's making the same amount, 6 figures. The problem with a lot of people, you hang around too many broke people. You are the lump sum of the 5 friends that you hang around. See, I'm looking down because I was waiting on my mic to drop. If you hang around 4 broke people, you're going to be the 5th one. That's just the law. You need to find some rich friends. And this is why I tell people you need to get into network marketing. Not because you can get rich overnight, but because you can be around people and the millionaires and multimillionaires that think and talk and operate on a different level. Jim Rohn had this video, and it's on my TikTok. I'm going to see if I can log in real quick. And Jim Rohn said that people that's living paycheck to paycheck and poor people need to take rich people out to eat. You need to take them out to dinner and prick their brain and ask them questions and inquire. And some people commented on my video and said, why would I take a rich person out to eat? They should give me something to eat. No, they're giving you knowledge and wisdom. And that is often overlooked. They are giving you knowledge and wisdom, and that's more than cash, money can ever afford you. So let me play this video for you, and then I'm going to lay it down. So have enough money, cash for a rainy day, have your money making money for you, and look into getting into a crypto exchange that comes with a debit card, like a crypto.com. That's outside the banking system.
People out to dinner.
I agree. Your gift does open doors for you, and so does money.
That's some of the best I got.
So does money. Right.
If a guy's not doing well, one of the first things he ought to do is find a guy that is doing well.
But, you know, that word
and offer to buy him his dinner.
2 ways.
Spend $50, $60, $80, go for the full 9 course. Start him on the juices and hors d'oeuvres. Get him started talking.
Cash.
The salad takes 15 minutes.
So I definitely agree with you.
Biggest steak in town takes 45.
Giving somebody
pour on the dessert. Stretch that meal out about 2 hours. If you get a successful person to eat and talk for 2 hours,
rich person,
they're liable to drop ideas in your lap, change your life.
That's a poor person.
Multiply your income by 2, by 3, by 5.
Another one put a comment. This is a true concept. Met a guy through a friend.
Don't usually
he was
take
poor.
rich people
Listen
out
and learn from me, and he's doing a lot better. Now,
the guy said he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. I'm not coming up with any money.
I need to respond to that and say, boom.
And he says, besides, you work where I work. By the time you struggle home, it's late. You're lucky to get your own supper, let alone running around trying to find a rich man to feed.
Not going to go to dinner with a poor person.
And the guy's
that's a poor person
on his house payment.
Poor people think. Someone else said this is a true concept.
Good worker, hard worker.
Met a guy through a friend. He was
But you got to be better than sincere. Work hard.
Me. And now
you wind up broke. You got to be better than a good. Now here's some of the best advice I've got for the whole evening. It won't get any better than this. This is it.
The law of connection.
Poor people ought to take rich people out to dinner and listen. That's some of the best I got. If a guy's not doing well, one of the first things he ought to do is find a guy that is doing well and offer to buy him his dinner. Spend $50, $60, $80, $100. Go for the full 9 course. Start him on the juices and hors d'oeuvres. Get him started talking. The salad takes 15 minutes. Keep it rolling. Biggest steak in town takes 45. Keep it rolling. Pour on the dessert. Stretch that meal out about 2 hours. If you get a successful person to eat and talk for 2 hours, they're liable to drop ideas in your lap, change your life. Multiply your income by 2, by 3, by 5. But you're right. Poor people don't usually take rich people out to dinner. That's the problem. The guy said he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. I'm not coming up with any money. And he says, besides, you work where I work. By the time you struggle home, it's late. You're lucky to get your own supper, let alone running around trying to find a rich man to feed. And the guy's behind on his house payment. Good worker, hard worker, sincere. But you got to be better than sincere. Work hard. You wind up broke. You got to be better than a good. Now, here's some of the best advice I've got for the whole evening. It won't get any better than this. This is it. Poor people ought to take rich people out to dinner and listen.
I think that's a great way to end my live stream. I'm gonna show you this real quick. I just thought about something. I know when you think you're listening to me in my live stream that you are listening to me. This is just within arm's reach. No, you're not listening to me. You listen to everything and everybody that I read. You listen to all the time that I take to impart knowledge in me to give to you. And some of you don't ever give back. But that's okay. Because the more I give, the more I receive. And that's the problem with a lot of people that struggle financially. They have no reciprocity. They never give anything or give for anything to the people that's imparting knowledge to them. They have many questions. They will ask a lot of questions and they will expect free answers. But once the answer is given, they don't practice reciprocity. They don't give back. And let me tell you, people, once you don't give to what's given to you, that same law will operate in your life. And that's why a lot of people are poor. Now, I don't give to I don't feed what doesn't feed me. But what I'm learning and growing, I give back to it. And that's why a lot of people struggle financially. They always expect something for nothing. They don't want to invest in knowledge. They want free things. But they never, just like when Jesus healed the 7 lepers, only one came back and said thank you. They never show any gifts of appreciation. And when you don't practice the law of giving and receiving to what gives to you, let me put an emphasis on that. Let me put a big emphasis on that. I don't give because people just ask me to. I give out of reciprocity. And if their knowledge, their time, and their wisdom have helped me, I give back. Because if not, then my circulation of blessings are cut off. And this is why a lot of people struggle financially. They don't take time to learn financially, and they always want something for nothing. You all have a great night. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm tired. Queen out.